2025 was an incredible year for the city building genre, but with the new year starting up, it's time to talk about the top 10 city building games to be released in 2026.
Yeah, you should subscribe to the channel.
So are you going to start playing city building games this year?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
This past year, we got Manor Lords Early Access, Anno 117, and even an entirely new developing team for Cities Skylines 2. There were some great strides made in the technological aspect of these games with the increased usage of Unreal engines, which we'll get to later, and even AI simulation algorithms that could bring our cities to life.
The Sims. They're talking about putting AI into the Sims. They're going to become conscious.
In today's video, I'm going to show you the top 10 city building games that are planned to release in 2026. Hopefully there's some games on this list that you haven't heard about, and there'll be a detailed release calendar at the end. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at the game that I am most excited for this year, Zlin City by Polyperfect. Now, usually when we talk about city builders, we think massive metropolises, smog, and traffic jams, but Zlin City, Arch Moderna, goes the other way. It's a cozy builder, think Tiny Glade meets a serious transportation simulation. It's based on the 1930s functionalist architecture, specifically the city of Zlin in the Czech Republic, and it's all about building these perfect, efficient little diorama towns with stunning visuals. It's running on Unreal Engine 5, so the lighting on your little red brick factories is going to look crisp enough to eat. So, if you want to relax and get creative with a little less structured city building specific system, then Zlin City will be the perfect game for you. Coming in at number 2, we have the game that's promising to fix everything we hate about grid zoning, and that's Citystate Metropolis. The developer, Andy Sztark, has finally dropped the release window for the first quarter of 2026 for what could be the first real competitor to Cities Skylines. And this isn't just going to be Citystate 3, it's going to be a total reinvention. No more grids, so if you want a weird diagonal block with a park in the middle, you can go ahead and do that. But the real kicker here is the simulation. It's not agent-based like Cities Skylines, and it's not just math on a spreadsheet. It uses a crowd-based model, which means it can handle realistic populations of millions of Sims without melting your CPU. Plus, it's tackling real stuff like gentrification, riots, and the actual socio-economic impact of your policies. The game looks like it's going to be gritty and honest, but quite beautiful if you let it. At number 3, put on your aviators and grab me a cigar. Tropico 7 is finally happening. They gave us a little teaser a while back, but they finally confirmed that 2026 is the year El Presidente returns with the new evolution of the award-winning city building series Tropico. Rumor has it that the new dev team, 9 World Studio, is leaning heavily into the political manipulation side of things. We're talking deeper election fraud mechanics, international trade wars that actually make sense this time, and hopefully the ability to build a palace entirely out of gold. As glorious leader, you will guide your loyal citizens and your Swiss bank account through the ages towards untold prosperity. Now, me personally, I'm very excited about this one, and I might have to play some Tropico 6 just to get ready for it. Number 4 is for those of you who want a simpler version of Anno 117. We have Nova Roma. This one's dropping in January, but you can play the demo right now. Coming from the developers over at Lion Shield, the same devs who made the incredibly charming Kingdoms and Castles, they are bringing us a fun, unique, Roman-styled city builder. The big tech leap here is the fluid simulation. You aren't just plonking down a fountain, you're literally reshaping the land to build dams, reservoirs, and aqueducts, much like the Romans did back in the day. You have to manage water pressure and gravity to irrigate your farms, or you'll end up flooding your own forum. You're leading a band of exiles away from a crumbling empire, which means you'll have to deal with the gods. Now, if you get too arrogant and forget to build a temple, Jupiter or Neptune might just wipe your city off the map. There are also complex supply chains with wine, pottery, and gladiator games, and it looks like the perfect blend of cozy animated visuals with city simulation. Me personally, I just love seeing the Roman style of architecture. Now, number 5 literally takes a step back with County of Fortune. Forget building a city, try building an entire region. This is a county builder, if you could call it that. You aren't placing individual flower pots, you're managing the logistics and trade between multiple settlements. It's like Manor Lords if it were zoomed out. You have to deal with noble houses, shifting cultures, and supply chains that span the entire map. Nepos Games is dropping this in 2026, and for the logistics fans in the audience, this might be your game of the year. Coming in at number 6 on this list, we have DarkSwitch. Now, DarkSwitch releases on March 12th, 2026, and this is a vertical city builder set on a massive 200-meter tall tree. But it's not just about building up, it's about surviving something called the fog below. It's got horror vibes, resource scarcity, and from what I can tell, it's going to have an incredible soundtrack by Akira Yamaoka. You have to build zip lines, manage light to keep the monsters away, and try not to fall off the branch. It looks terrifying, and personally not the game that I'm most excited for on this list, but definitely a fun one to try. Number 7, we have The First Explorers by Buchwald Interactive. Now, this one's bringing back the Settlers vibes, so if you were a little disappointed by the recent Settlers game, then you should keep your eye on this. It's got the classic organic building feel, where you could watch a little guy carry wood to the sawyer and then carry that same wood as a plank to the builder. It's satisfying, it's detailed, and Buchwald Interactive is promising a mix of RTS combat and pure city building bliss. And while I know some people don't like the idea of mixing combat and city building, but who knows, The First Explorers might have a chance to change your mind. At number 8, we have a big one, Transport Fever 3. Urban Games is back with another edition of the Ultimate Transport Tycoon series. Transport Fever 2 is still the king of logistics, but Transport Fever 3 promises dynamic world evolution. Cities won't just grow because you delivered bread, they'll evolve based on how you connect them. We're expecting better water physics, deeper industry chains, and finally, hopefully, a user interface that doesn't require a PhD to understand traffic lights. At number 9, we have Drownlight. Think Frostpunk, but wet. You're building a city around a solitary lighthouse in a world that has been swallowed by the ocean. You'll need to scavenge the water, manage your fuel, and keep the light on. And, of course, deal with anything that's swimming in the dark. It's published by Crytivo, and it looks incredibly atmospheric. If the lights go out, your city dies, so no pressure. Now, before we get to the big one, here are some honorable mentions that didn't make the cut, frankly because they told us they were going to come out last year, but we're still excited for them nonetheless. The first one is Metropolis in 1998, a retro-style builder that lets you design the interiors of buildings. The pixel art is gorgeous, so I can't wait to play this one. Next up, we have Beyond These Stars, the sequel to Before We Leave, and in this one you build a city on a space whale. Yes, a space whale. So that's gotta be cool, gotta be fun. But finally, number 10, the redemption arc, Cities Skylines 2 Console Edition.
Can you play Cities Skylines 2 on the Xbox?
I know this might be a pipe dream, and I've made a lot of videos about it in the past, but Cities Skylines 2 just got a new developer, Ice Lake Studios, so I think it could be possible this year. And look, we all know that the launch for Cities Skylines 2 was rough, and the colossal split of 2025 was shocking. But the new team has the opportunity to do the impossible, and that is bring back Cities Skylines 2. If this released anytime this year, I would be happy. Me personally, I'm hoping that they do this around summertime, okay? And if they pull this off, controller players finally get to join the next generation of Cities Skylines. So, when can you play all these games? Well, here's your 2026 City Builder calendar. In January, we got Nova Roma coming out. In the first quarter of the year, we got Citystate Metropolis coming out. March 12th, we got DarkSwitch. Hopefully, end of spring, beginning of summer, we get Cities Skylines 2 for the console edition. Very big maybe on that one. In the summer, or to be announced, we have The First Explorers. And late 2026, of course, we have two big ones, Tropico 7 and Transport Fever 3. So it's going to be a busy year, so tell your family you'll see them in 2027. And let me know if I missed anything on this list, which game you are most excited for this year. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.
Wow. Merry Christmas. And live from New York, it's Saturday!